do 503 days on New Halling, Fear and Greed Index 31 Fear, and Bitcoin is currently trading at 17.5k, pretty much in the same range at June lows in this year we were trading. So yeah, in the previous video I was talking about the most important mark, which is 1 year since the all-time high, because it was the bottom of the bear market in the previous cycle. It was the bottom, we never went there after that. So as you can imagine, we did created a new low on this mark, on a 1 year since the all-time high mark. We did have a correlation. Technically it was not that big of a drop, because if you're gonna look at the previous low, it was 17.5 and the current low is 15.5, which is 2k gap. 2k gap is not that big, but still, since we were trading at a 20.5k, you can imagine how big of a drop it was from 20.5 to the 15.5. It's like what, 5k drop. But yeah, on the technicalities, everything was perfect. Everybody was expecting that, so everything went nice. But on the news side, Jesus Christ, nobody was expecting the SBF, the FTX collapse. Again, second biggest exchange. How did that happen? So yeah, that was unexpected, completely. But if you're gonna ask me, does CZ made it purposely? Does CZ knows about technicalities of a Bitcoin cycles? Maybe. Does he did it? Again, still, I'm not saying like CZ is the bad guy here. It's obviously, I'm pretty sure. I'm watching CNBC right now, and I'm actually looking at the SBF in Bahamas getting cuffed in handcuffs. So yeah, he's apparently going to jail, and yeah. But again, still, it's like, we know who the trigger was, but the main problem is obviously you should have the reserves, because you should have less leverage, and I hope a lot of exchanges will make some lessons out of this, and plus I'm pretty sure CZ made some claims about like some ideas for like proof of reserve, some stuff like that. So some exchanges also actually did show the proof of reserve. So that's nice, and obviously Binance. I hope Binance is not gonna fail. Jesus Christ, that would be that would be extremely bad. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna break the correlation that is happening right now. Even though there is some problems, but not the big one. Let's just say it's fixable. On other bigger time frames, it's fixable, and it's gonna make sense. Yeah, I hope Binance will not fail. Jesus Christ, too. I hope it's too big to fail, but it's a pretty bad quote, I think. But still, Binance doesn't have that big of a leverage. Plus, they have some reserves, in a USDT, USDC, BTC, Ethereum. They got a lot diversification. They're not fully backed by BNB and BUSD, which is like which was the problem with the FTX. It was backed by its own coin, which is, you can imagine, or token. It was not even coin, it was like a token. So you can imagine it's like yeah, it was extremely bad. So there's that. But again, if you're gonna have a same story with Binance, I think we're gonna break all of them correlations. We're gonna make it a new low. But the current low is literally having the correlation perfectly. So the current low, 15.5k. We're actually currently trading at the lows of the previous lows, which is 17.5k, a little bit up, down, not that much, but still, it's pretty nice. Again, if you're gonna look at the previous cycle, in this 1 year since the all-time high mark, it was the bottom. We never went to this point at all. So even during the COVID crash, which was again a lot of volatility there, still never went that low before. And also we had pretty nice upside. After that, it was a nice upside. It was like a flat trading for 1-2 quarters, and then we had some bull run there, like 300%, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, currently. So what's the problem? What's the problem that we are having right now in some correlation? Not the big one. Weekly time frame. On a weekly time frame, if you're gonna look the previous bear market, you can see there's red face MACD. You know, it's clean V-shape recovery. It's having a pivot point. Actually, exactly on this on 1 year all-time high mark, it's having a pivot point. Then it's turning to the green face, and we are having a clean bull run. We're currently on a weekly time frame, on a current time frame. We're currently in a green phase, and it's a prolonged green phase, which is not that great, but still, I guess not the 1 day time frame. I don't think it's important at all. Weekly time frame, it's kind of important actually, but still, if you're gonna look at the monthly time frame. Yeah, monthly time frame is looking perfect. So on a monthly time frame, we're having same correlation. It's much bigger red phase. It's a prolonged red phase, but still there's reversal happening. There's pivot point happening, and yeah, for now it's looking great on a monthly time frame. So I would say 1-2 quarters we should have great upside at least in this time frame, but still since it's such a prolonged phase of red MACD, you know, it can take some times, but still I hope the only thing that I hope is we're not gonna be making the new lows, because that's gonna be the full, you know, error on correlation. So yeah, I hope we're not gonna have new lows, and we're gonna have a clean upside, and let's just say flat trading in this range, like 17K, you know, and then we're gonna have some like clean upside, you know, when we're gonna have like the end of the red phase and the beginning of the I cannot even imagine when it's gonna happen. But I'm not gonna be making prediction again, because you can see it's a pretty big phase. Hard to tell. And also halving is coming closer, which is great. That's insanely good. So the closer the halving, the better. What problems we got is obviously inflation is still high. It's dropping fast. Like it's not dropping like we had in July, because I'm sorry. We had like 8.5, then we had 8.3, then we had 8.2. It was so slow. Then bang, 7.7, 7.1. So right now inflation is looking great, which is also great. We had some great pump, and then we sold off like immediately. SPY tried to have a breakout out of like a downside. What is this thing called? Jesus, I forgot. The like a downtrend resistance. It tried to have a breakout, but we sold off pretty quickly. Then we had the news about the rate hikes. We had the 50 basis points. People was expecting like 25. You know, it's because since we're dropping so fast. But Jerome Powell is said like, okay, we're gonna have 50, and we're gonna be determined to have 2% no matter what of inflation. So as you can imagine, that's like a 5% drop on current CPI, which is a lot actually. That's pretty a lot. So yeah, and the current prediction that Jerome Powell is saying for the end of the next year, which is 2023, So he's saying the inflation gonna have like 5%, which is just a 2% drop. It means we're gonna have, yeah, we'll see, but it looks not that great. So that's one of the reasons why we're dropping the SPY. NQ is still trading at the lows, because again, if you're gonna look at the whole bull run, you can imagine the drop is huge there. So yeah, it's the current state of the stock market. Also, interest rates through the roof. Economy is crashing. We are entering the recession, or maybe we're already in recession. But again, it's some weird type of recession, since terms being changed so much. And I'm pretty sure BlackRock said that the previous rules will not apply to the current market, to the current next year, 2023. That's what BlackRock said, and they made the projections for the next year, and that was the main quote. The previous rules will not be applied to the next year. So yeah. But again, for the Bitcoin, for the crypto, we're hoping that we're gonna have the same correlation. We're gonna have the same upside in the next 1-2 quarters. Let's see how that will go. So yeah, Ethereum dominance is still, BTC dominance still trading on the lows, like 41%. It's pretty much the same as it was on the previous bear market. So we'll see. I don't think we're gonna reach the 70%, 71% highs, but again, who knows? Maybe we're gonna have crazy altcoin crash. Yeah, we'll see what's gonna happen there. BNB, Binance profited extremely good on this current, FTX collapse, because Binance proved that it's have reserves. It's proved that it's the biggest exchange, and it had a lot of stress tests. It's still having a lot of stress tests. I'm pretty sure it was some recent fraud, and it was like a $2 billion withdrawal on one day, or in just Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure on Binance, but still they having some successful stress tests there. So a BNB coin is profiting from this whole instability. Yeah, liquidity is going to the BNB. So Ethereum is still trading at the highs. Actually, it's still trading at the same range as it was in all-time highs. Is it all time? Yeah, as we had in all-time highs. People's expecting actually new. Yeah, people expecting new highs, and some people expecting, and a lot of stuff people expecting. So first thing, they're expecting Ethereum dominance to make a new highs compared to the whole 1 year flat trading of a dominance, like in a range of 21%, 17%, like some like go above like 22. Some people calling to Ethereum to flip the Bitcoin, which is again pretty interesting, because Ethereum is changing. There is some changes that are happening to the Ethereum. Some people calling for the new lows. Yeah, there's also people there, because again we had Ethereum was also trading pretty highly on a bear market, in a previous bear market, and then it sold off because of the Bitcoin pumping so much. But currently we're still trading at the highs, 19.2%. Yeah, so there's the also proof of stake. Beijing, or no, Shanghai event should happen in like a year, or somewhere there, in a year. So it's like a big thing. Plus again, Ethereum evolving, changing. So it also technically should not have correlation because it's a completely different coin now. It's a proof of stake. It's yeah, it's a completely different game. So it also a big thing on Ethereum. So we'll see what's gonna happen there. I actually sold some of the Bitcoin for Ethereum just in case. I'm not saying for you to do that, but you know, for some diversification, just in case if we're gonna make a new highs. So yeah, but in general, hoping for Bitcoin to have exact same correlation as it was in the previous bear market, because we had a pretty nice upside. We actually had we reached the previous year open, which was 13.2k, and the current previous year open, that would be in the next year. Technically we're gonna have a previous year open, so it's gonna have 46.2k, which I don't think, actually, again, I'm gonna be more conservative, let's just say like that. I don't think we're gonna reach that much of a point, like 46.4k. Let's start from 30k. Let's at least have 30k. So yeah. Also, Ethereum is not reaching new lows. Yeah, that's interesting part. It's actually making like higher lows, which is much bullish thing, much more bullish thing. But Ethereum is getting suppressed by the Bitcoin dominance, because again, Bitcoin is currently trading at a low, so you can imagine a lot of people is expecting some crazy pumps happening there, like 5-10% to the 50 at least. Yeah, also some expectation there. So yeah, hoping for some crazy pumps in the future, and to the moon, to the moon, to the moon.